Hey guys, sorry it's been a while. Just thought I'd do this inbox review. I know it's been quite well. I think the last time I posted one was about three, four, nearly a month ago actually, I think. So what we'll do, we'll turn the camera around and I'll just show you what I'm going to do an inbox review on. Oh, he says. I'm just trying to adjust the camera. This is Eduard's Adlertag Eagle Day, if you interpret that. Eduard, limited edition, DF110 Profit Pack set. I think it was brought out around about nearly a year ago, because obviously last year was the 80th anniversary of the Battle of Britain. So Eduard did a series of limited edition kits, one being the Spitfire Mark 1. I think there was just recently a Dornier DO17, and obviously this one. I think you can still get a few of these online, mainly at eBay I think now, because a lot of them have been sold through, and as I say, it's a limited edition. I think I got this one via Mike Jolly at Kids for Less Facebook website, or is it Mike Jolly Models, something like that. And got it for around about, I think about £35. Probably a lot more. As you can see, got a lovely illustration of a photograph of personnel in front of the Shark Teeth's version of the 110, which you can see at the top there. And obviously you got the one with the sort of enlarged tank on the bottom of the aircraft, which I think were the aircraft based mainly in Norway. So yeah, so the kit number on this one is 11145 if you want to get hold of one of these. It's called Adlertag BF110 CD in the Battle of Britain, 148th. Those are the two options that you basically got on the side there, as you can see from the box art illustration. And there's a little CAD drawing of the actual main cannon there, as you can see, with the actual machine gun belt there. That's how we do round here. And without further ado, obviously we'll take all the bits out of the box. As you can see there, you've got a lovely instruction sheet, which we'll go through in a moment, which you can see there. Set of decals, nice clear parts, and a bag full of sprues there. You've got the two options there, which you can see. And that's a second bag of sprues, which unfortunately has got slightly torn, but we'll go through that in a minute. There's your gun, which was featured on the front there, and some other resin parts. PE set, and more options for your canopy, and then obviously you got your mast set, which comes in it as well. So there you go. So quite a lot for your money. So what we'll do first, I'll just get all the sprues out of the way. As you can see here, again on the instruction sheet you've got a little bit of history about the aircraft itself, because obviously it was a twin-engined fighter bomber. Very successful during the earlier years of the Second World War through the Blitzkrieg, etc., and in Poland. But when it came to the Battle of Britain, it was found to be a bit inferior, and yeah, not a very good aircraft. But I mean, it was used throughout the war, more successfully as a night fighter than a day fighter or fighter bomber. But they were produced right through the war, and in this kit you've got a couple of options here for Oberst Werner Junk. He was the commander of Javu 3, and also you've got another one which is Commodore Oberst Schützenfriedrich Huth and Oberstleutnant Friedrich Vollbracht, I think, and another one which is Oberst Ralph von Rettberg, Zegeschwader 2, or Oberst Johann Schalk, Zegeschwader 26. So yeah, they were Zerstorer units as they were opposed to it. Unfortunately, I haven't done much research in regard to the aircraft, but I've just given you a little overview, as it were. Anyway, without further ado, we go through the instruction sheet. Very comprehensive. Again, you've got a little bit of history there about the actual aircraft and some of the aces that are featured in this kit. Some photographs. And then you've got your sprue tree map there. Obviously what is in blue you don't actually use in the kit itself. And then obviously you've got your colour call-outs there. Mr. Colour Aqueous or Mr. Colour Paints. Again, with the hobby colour app, you can actually transform that to whichever brand of paint you're using. First on up, you've got the two fuselage halves, which you can see here. I think these are meant to be cut off. I'm not sure. Again, with this one, if you put in all the etch brass detailing, you don't use that. That goes. And it's showing you here how to actually assemble the PE belts for the harnesses. And then obviously you've got your radio deck, your harnesses going to your seats, as you can see there. That goes onto the cockpit floor, and there's all your throttle levers, etc. And it's showing you where to cut off the pieces if you don't want to use the kit parts. That's probably what I'll do. And then obviously you've got your control column, your throttle levers, etc., which go onto the cockpit floor. Moving on, you've got your assembly of your foot pedals, which go there, then the assembly of the actual main control column with the PE, etc. And it's showing you some of the parts for the decals for the control levers up in the far corner here. Obviously you put those onto the cockpit, and then it's the fitment of the rear gunner's seat, which you can see here, and the main frame there. You've got the oxygen bottles which go onto the machine gun deck. That's put in as well. Not quite sure, I think that's your machine gun belt there. Goes onto the cockpit floor at the rear there, along with the seat and the harnesses, etc. And that's obviously your machine gun, which goes into the fuselage. And then obviously you've got the radio deck here, which you can see here. Obviously you can cut all these parts off and put your PE in as well. Again, you've got the assembly of your machine gun ammunition belts, which go in. Obviously then the harnesses are fitted to the rear gunner's seat. Machine gun belts go on, including the radio deck, etc. It goes in. What else? Next column, we've got side panels. Again, where it's marked in red, you just cut that out and put the PE on. And again, you got machine ammunition belts, which go in again onto the rear part of the fuselage cabin, along with the bulkhead, etc. They're fitted all together, as you can see there. There you are, there's your gunner station, and that's your main pilot station there. And then obviously the next process is to fit in some side panels, which go onto the left side of the fuselage. Again, on this part you've got the option of using a Decal or PE. Then that is fitted into the cross section of the rear gunner station. Ammunition parts which go in for the machine gun go in there. This is part of your column, obviously, to go into the back as well. The assembly of that. Cockpit tub goes in, fuselage halves are buttoned up, and obviously before you do that you've got other side panels here which you can take off and put PE in. Okay, so it's quite a comprehensive build, this, by the looks of it. Now let me see. Next page, if I can get it to turn. Hang on, it's not easy with these final pages, I tell you. Right, and again you got your main machine guns which are assembled. and put into the cockpit. That's obviously the gunner station. Goes onto the rear part of the actual deck. Then you've got the assembly of the main machine gun bay, which you can see here on the front of the nose. And then obviously that's fitted in. Obviously you can have that uncovered for display in case you want to have it look as though it's being maintained. And then put the main nose column on if you should so wish. And obviously you've got the gun sight for the rear gunner's station there. Or is that the main cockpit? No, it's the front cockpit, sorry. I'm getting confused now. You've got the gun which goes on, etc. Nose goes on, and then you turn yourself to the wings, and obviously it's telling you where to drill the holes for whichever bomb racks or whatever refueling cans go. Assembly of the internal workings of the actual undercarriage bay there, assemble of that main part of that there. Two halves go together, job done for the engine bay. Okay, next up, I think this is to do with the engine mount, or no, the actual air coolant which goes in onto the main engine. Assembly of the actual undercarriage doors, which you can see there. And then you've got the air coolant which goes in, the air filter, right there. It's showing you how to assemble the radiators. And then obviously it's buttoning up the wings onto the fuselage. Rear tail planes go on, rudders, etc. Rear tail wheel goes on. Observation columns go in there. And then the fitment of the wheels, and apparently I'm not sure, I think they are weighted, I'm not sure. So you put all these separate assemblies for the undercarriage legs there. Tyres go together, tyres go on, and then you've got part of the piston rod which goes in. And this is just showing you how it should be lined up, etc. I'm not sure, making sure I've got this on. And then obviously it's showing you the correct angle with the position of the wheels. And then obviously fit them into the undercarriage bay, which you can see there. Okay, next up, undercarriage legs go in. Obviously you've got your radio aerials which go on, and then obviously you've got the rear assemblies which go onto the elevators, and then obviously the fitment of the exhausts which you can see there. Okay, moving on, you go into the detailing of the actual cockpit glass, etc. And obviously the sub-assemblies go inside, and you put the frame, PE frame for the internal workings in case you want the obviously with the cockpit open, which is probably what I'll do. And again, sub-assemblies of PE go into the main sort of front glass part. Aerial goes on, and then you've got the sub-assemblies for the rear portion of the glazing where the gunner's station is. Put them all onto the actual cockpit, as it were. All the glazing's down, exhausts are on, propellers I'll put on, and I'm not quite sure what this is. I think this is a brassing set, I'm not sure, it's probably in it. I think this may be for your main undercarriage machine gun, I'm not sure. And then you've got sub-assemblies here. That fits onto your main gun. And I think this is for the D version, where it's got the main slip tank, as it were, or cannon. So that's fitted in, more parts of PE go on there. Then obviously you've got the assembly of the bombs, and if you're doing the D version, you've got the main tank which sits onto the fuselage right there. Whereas the C version, you can either have the alternative of putting bombs on there for your bomb rack. Then obviously you've got the assembly of the figures, which is a good idea for the basis of a diorama. So there you go. There's your rear gun. And you've got your there you go. This is a good basis for a diorama. So you've got your main table there with all your tools. You've got the armourer, which you can assemble there. I don't know if that's the lieutenant, flight commander. Then the assembly of the maintenance crew, and you've got some P for the ammunition belts, and sub-assembly of your bombs, and then obviously you've got your masking map right here for your glazing for when you're painting. Yeah. And that is basically it, guys. Now obviously we've got the colour options in here. The first one is of a Bf110C flown by Hoytland Horst Leinsberger CO Stabgeschwader Zerstorer LG1 France summer 1940, which is the overall blue with the splinter camouflage at the top there. That's one version. Or you've got the Bf110C of the Zerstorer Gleisland, Germany, September 1939, which is the overall splinter camo and blue undersides. So you can do an earlier version, pre-Battle of Britain. And a more typical camo in the Battle of Britain of a Bf110D 0 First Agueshwader 2 Amin Glissy summer 1940, which is obviously during the Battle of Britain. Or you've got Bf110D work number 3181, so it's the 4th Agueshwader Freiburg, Germany, July 1940. That's the one with the big main slip tank underneath. Looks quite a nice combination. And you've got a white nose version, Bf110C, flown by Oberleutnant Joachim Freikhoff, Lille, France, summer 1940. So that's a Battle of Britain bird. That's quite a nice colour scheme. Then another one again, Bf110D, work number 3716, second Gagzag Zergeschwader, Yvranche Sommer, France, August 1940, during the Battle of Britain. And then another white-nosed bird, Bf110D, 4th Zageshwader, 26 Glissy en Pontour, France, September 1940. And another Bf110C flown by Oberleutnant Sophus Bargel, 8 ZG26 Bali Acquis, France, July 1940. That's more of a mottled splinter camouflage. So yeah, interesting with the red sort of nose tips as well. Yeah. And then the more familiar version, which I might well go with, Bf110Z, work number 3285, flown by Oberleutnant Hans Joachim Jabs, CO 6 Geschwader 76 Le Mans, France, September 1940. That is more than likely the version that I will actually build when I get around to building this kit, with the overall splinter, that lovely shark nose, and obviously you got the blue undersides. And then you've got a Bf110D 0 7th Zergeschwader 76 Laval, France, October 1940, which was at the end of the battle. So that's the more mottled colour scheme, as it were. And another version, do they ever stop? Bf110D3, work number 3378, flown by Oberleutnant Martin Lutz, CO Oberl Gunskropper, 210 Calais Mach, France, September 1940. And another splintered overall camo bird, Bf110C6, flown by Oberleutnant Eric Budel, 1st April Gunskropper, 210 Calais Mach, France, August 1940. So there you go. And this is the one with the underneath cannon, so the big blue slip tank, as it were. And then obviously on the back you've got your indicator for all your stencils as well. So that is basically the instruction sheet. What I might well do, I'm just going to take this out of the resealable bag. Here's some of the clear parts, and they are beautifully produced if I can get them to focus. So look at that, absolutely as clear as a mirror. So beautifully moulded, and will be easy to mask. But as I say, you've got mask sets with this anyway. Anyway, I'm going to put that back in the bag. What have I done with the bag? Here we go. Let's get that back inside. He says, easier getting it out, but not so easy getting it back in. Come on, in you go. So, yeah. Now, these are not easy to get back in the bags, I must admit. Come on. As you can tell, it's been a while since I last did a video. Right, let's reseal this bugger up. Done. Okay, put that back in the box. There we go. I won't go through the decals and that yet. Right, first bag. I'm going to get these out. And they are resealable. Although this bag is a bit split, but never mind. Oh, I might as well get them out of split. There we go. Right. Engine pods. As you can see there, if I can get this damn thing to focus. Come on. Beautiful panel line detail. Plastic is a bit shiny and a little bit sort of greasy, but there you go. And then obviously you've got your flight control columns. If I can get this damn thing to focus. And it's just focusing on the deck chairs outside. Oh, this is not foreboding well at the moment. Come on. Focus. Come on. There you go. Look at the control columns. Absolutely beautifully moulded. And then obviously you've got your tail planes right here. A little bit of raised detail at the back there, but I would expect that on the real thing. Upper engine. Oh, that's your radiator column on there. Beautifully reproduced. So yeah, very nicely done. And then we got the second sprue. Again, if I can get this to focus, you've got parts of the figures which come with the kit, beautifully sculpted as you can see there, your bombs, other parts of the engineering figures which you can get there for a diorama, which will be nicely done. So yeah, it's quite inspirational looking at these figures, I must admit. And then obviously you've got parts of the actual machine gun there. If I can get the damn thing to focus, there you go. Parts of the undercarriage. And the workbench, which you can see there. Again, lovely sculpt on the figures. So yeah, sorry about that. It keeps focusing on the garden furniture, I don't know why. And obviously on this sprue, I think this is yeah, parts of the cockpit frame, etc. Again, nice detail on the side console column there. There's internal workings, tail wheel. If I can get this damn thing to focus. Very nicely done. So these sprue gates look a bit thick. So I'm just going to show you all of this. And again, beautiful amount of detail on them. And there you go. And more sub-assemblies, fairings, etc. Which you got on here. Try to keep it to focus. Very nicely done. Gun mounting right there, etc. Beautiful detail on it. So look a bit fiddly, so whatever you do, make sure it doesn't get into the carpet monster. So there you go. And then obviously you've got your wing tanks, as you can see here, bombs, etc. Nicely done. Again, lovely detail on them. There's your bombs, bomb racks, and then the fairings for your bombs as well. As you can see there, it's all nicely moulded, beautiful detail. There you go. And put them on the bottom of the box. The bag's absolutely shot to bits now. And then we get onto the main parts, and that, which is the main parts of the aircraft. How do I get this bag? I don't have a resealable bag. Excuse the noise in the background, that's the dishwasher going. Right. And obviously you got the assembly, you got the fuselage tiles here for one version. Beautiful panel line detailing, as you can see on there. If I can get it to damn well focus. Beautiful panel lines on there, lovely rivet detail. As you can see there. Absolutely exquisite. Internally, you've got some nice detail again on the side consoles of the cockpit and gunner station. I love the effect they got with the old wires here as well. Very nicely done. So yes, and even with the etched brass, that will absolutely make it pop. It really will. And obviously you've got the other version here. I'm not sure if this is the C or the D. Again, beautiful panel line detail. You got your, if I can get this damn thing to focus, sorry. Oh, come on, focus. There you go. Those gun bays, top and bottom. That's your ammunition belt there for the main machine gun at the back. And obviously you've got another version there. Tail planes, beautiful panel line detail on there again. And this is the rear bulkhead, which you can see here. Again, there's your bomb rack, pilot seat, and then obviously you got the bottom tank for the D model, which was based in Norway. So there you go. Right, what's next? Here we go. Coolant ducts. There are some injection mould bits there. I might have to sand them down when I get around to building this. There's a little flash on these undercarriage bay doors, but then again you can fix that with a sander. Internal console of the cockpit there, nice detail on that again. Elevator there, it's got a nice fabric effect on it as well. If you can get the damn thing to focus again. The side console there, beautiful detail. And this I think is for the one with the cannon, goes underneath the actual fuselage. And there's your propellers on one of them. Again, there's a little bit of flash on there, which is a bit disappointing, but hey. And obviously one of the propeller nose hubs, you can see there, nice detail on that again, come up nicely with a wash. Cockpit floor, as you can see there, nicely done. Tyres, nice level of detail. They're not weighted, so you might have to use a sander for that, or get some aftermarket resin wheels. Again, parts of the gun bay for the nose. Again, weather and wash that up and dry brush it, it'll look nice. And if I turn that round the other way, these are, I think this is the rear bulkhead for the fuselage, or the undercarriage bay, I'm not quite sure. Again, nice detail on that. And you've got the internal workings of, I don't know if these are the undercarriage bay doors, very nicely done too. So yes, very nicely done. Quite a comprehensive lot of detail, although it's a little bit naff in parts, but it's something you can work on. And then obviously, last sprue is the wings themselves. Let's get the bag off the back. Again, nice level of detail on there. Beautifully moulded with the panel line detail. Obviously that's where your air filters go as well. And on the upper part of the wing it's beautifully detailed also. So yes, not a kit to disappoint you, and I love the detail where they've got the access to the wing tanks when they would normally fill them up. So yeah, there you go. And then obviously in this bag you've got some resin parts which come with the kit. Hang on, where are we going with this? 30 minutes already. Alright, let's get these out of the bag. I'm not quite sure what this is, so I'm going to have to leave that in the comments for me, but I'll have a look on the instruction sheet and refer to it. It's a Resin set. Yeah, nicely moulded, whatever it is. I think that's probably where the main cannon goes. And then obviously you've got the fitment for the internal cannon, which you see here, the main frame. Again, you're going to have to clean that all up, but nothing you can't sort out. And this is the main cannon pod, which goes underneath one of the D versions. So yeah, that's nicely detailed as well. And then you've actually got the main cannon itself, which is beautifully reproduced. Look at that, isn't it gorgeous? So yes, very nice indeed. Right. Oh, there's one thing I forgot to show you, was the actual canopy itself on the kit. You've just seen that. Let's have a look at that as well. Good thing these are in resealable bags. I tell you, I wish more kit manufacturers would do this. Right. Let's have a look at these. This is in a resealable bag, obviously. Let's get them out and have a look at them. Clear as a daisy, beautiful detail, and that will really look nice on a display shelf. And again, you've got a mask set with this, so you haven't got to worry about trying to mask it yourself, which would take an age, but beautiful work on that. So there you go. Right. And then obviously you've got your cockpit mask again, so that's going to be a big help when it comes to painting. Right, and then you've got your etch brass set in here as well. Trying to get this out very delicately. Level of detail on this is exquisite. I mean, look at that, guys. That is really going to make your kit pop, isn't it? So, and it's pre-painted in a lot of cases as well, which is going to be a big help. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then obviously you've got the other etch brass set here, which is for your gun belts, your radiators, etc. And unfortunately they will have to be painted, but yeah, it'll really make the kit pop. Pop this back in the bag. I don't want to damage it, so I'm trying to be very careful here. In you go. Again, it's easy to get them out, not so easy to get. Oh, that's it, she's got back in. Right, good. And then finally, your decal sheet, or sheets. We've got two of them actually. Get the backing off one of them. Right, there you go. I would assume these are made by Cartograph, and they look, I don't know, they're a little bit wishy-washy, but yeah, we'll see. You can either, with the swastikas, build them up yourselves, or you got the full set made up already. Because this has come from the Ukraine, there are no laws to stop them having swastikas on this kit. But again, you've got your stencils there. You've got the alternative of using cockpit, using decals for the control panels if you wish. As you can see there, seem in fairly good register, but I've heard dubious signs about some of Eduard's decals. But we'll see when it comes to the time. I might, just as a backup, get some aftermarket sets, possibly when it comes to building this. But they look okay. And then obviously you've got your main decal sheet here with the unit markings, etc. If I get the backing sheet off. And you've got these infamous shark's teeth, which you can see here. And other markings, kill markings, etc. But as I say, looks in fairly good register. All your unit markings there for about, I don't know, it must be about 4 or 5 or 6 different versions for the 110s here. So yes, not bad at all. It's quite a lot for your buck from what you get. Yeah, you know, just a process of putting it all back in the box, sitting it there. So what are my thoughts on the kit? Very comprehensive. Beautiful lot of detail on it. Just trying to get this decal sheet back into its packaging. A lot for your money, which is well worth it. I mean, I don't know if these are available anymore, but yeah, get one if you can, definitely. Particularly if you are interested in the period of the Battle of Britain, because I know a lot of manufacturers don't tend to do the early versions of the 110. Get this back in its bag. But it's a lovely, lovely kit altogether. I don't know when I'm going to get around to building it, as and when the situation improves, I think. Because at the moment where I'm living here, I just don't have the space or the facilities to do any building or storage of built kits. So that is something you're just going to have to bear with me on, guys. Yeah, I can't wait to get back to me building, I must admit. Trying to get these things back in, it's not easy these days. Famous last words. Oh god, that one's got caught up with another sprue. Hang on. Bear with me, guys. Sorry about the wrinkling at the packaging. Just try to get everything back where it should be, near enough. Yeah, I would say it's well worth the money. I mean, if there are any on eBay, I mean, admittedly, I think they are going to go for ridiculous prices, but if you can get hold of one, still, do so. I'm just going to leave it on the side there like that. But yeah, this must have been one of my longest reviews. But this is Eduard's Adlertag BF110 CD dual combination set. It's well worth your money. Go out and get one if you can. So there you go. Right, so there you go. Sorry, it's a bit sort of hit and miss with this review, and I'm hand holding the camera at the moment. But yeah, I thought I'd get this one in because I haven't done it in a while. I've had this one nearly a year, this kit. So there you go. Anyway, I'm going to finish here, guys. So until the next time, get kit crazy, happy modelling, stay safe, keep well. And we're all going to get through this, rest assured. So until the next time, take care, guys. Cheers.